Over the years, I've heard people comment from time to time about grief and about what hurts more. There's no grief greater than losing this person or that person. They'll name a specific relationship. And one thing that I've realized and that I try to remember when talking to people, and that I wish other people would stop and realize, it's really not about what relationship they are. It's about how close they are to you. You can have a parent child that doesn't have much of a relationship and the death does not impact them as much. Then again, you could have one that's very close and it is very painful. And I would assume probably the same with spouses. I hope there's not any spouses out there who aren't very close to their spouse, but perhaps they are in a situation like that. And so, you can't really make a blanket statement as to, and I think sometimes and I'll finish that statement in a minute. I think sometimes in this world we live in, we try to compare ourselves to everyone else. We try to compare our grief to other people. My grief is greater than your grief. What I'm going through, you don't understand. You can't possibly know what this is. And we kind of have this tendency to try to elevate our situation and think that no one else can possibly understand. And it's, you could be surrounded with people who don't understand. But to know how much it hurts someone, it's impossible. There's not a thermometer they can stick to you and be able to determine how much your grief is. We live in a society that wants to compare our grief with each other, compare who has more or who has less. But in reality, there's no way to compare it because there's a lot of factors that go into it. The relationship, how not just relationship as in parent, child, husband, wife, friend, not just that, but how close they truly were, not just titles that they held, but how close they truly were. And then things like, well, was it expected? Was it something that they were already, I think sometimes when they're dying with something, you do some of the grieving while they're dying, and so it doesn't hit you with the punch as much as if it was something that you did not see coming. And so, there's those factors that come in. There's the age of the person, were they already up in age and, at a time in their life that you would expect death, or was it totally at a time when they were young and still had so much life before them? There's a lot of different factors that go in it. And so, you can't really say, well, my grief is this and you don't understand. It's possible that the person does not understand. But then again, perhaps they have been through something that has hurt them greatly as well. So just putting this out here as a thing of don't always go around trying to compare griefs, trying to figure out who's grieving more, who's hurting more, but just realize that we do live in a broken, fallen world where we lose people, and it hurts. It hurts. Sometimes it doesn't hurt as much as other times, but it hurts nonetheless. And we should be loving and compassionate and be supportive of each other and care about each other, no matter what relationship it is. If someone's lost, there's a spot that's empty. There's a spot that's missing. And yes, the greater that relationship, and yes, for me, with it being my husband, who is my best friend and the person who was like involved in every moment of my day. And, the word of God says they became one flesh, and that is exactly what we did. We were one in so much. And so, yes, perhaps that I do, experience certain things that maybe somebody doesn't have that closeness with someone. But again, there's no way, there's not a thermometer to tell what somebody's experiencing. And even what you see on the outside doesn't tell you what they're experiencing inside. So just be compassionate with people. Again, just be compassionate and loving, and realize that death hurts. Death hurts. And we all have to deal with it, and it's something we should be gentle with each other and loving, and realize it's a hard journey. No matter which way you look at it, it's a hard journey.